listening to Catherine Feeney on ABC Radio Brisbane and Queensland.
It is 2:45. Now, soon the westerlies will blow the farmers into Brisbane for the Ekka, and after they've gone home, those high winds tend to give way to milder but still fairly breezy conditions along the coast. So is this the time of year when you might want to consider getting a bit windy? I don't mean because you've had a full bowl of beans. I do mean getting out and embracing the wind from a sporting perspective. Wind sports, are they kind of fun? Did windsurfing really die in 1985? And is it actually back? I like to think it is, but I wouldn't know. Scott, Farley, you have a fair idea. G'day.
Hello, how are you?
You're the president of Windsurfing Queensland.
That's it, yep.
Are people still I mean, I just remember the windsurfing as being massive.
Hardcore have kept going all the way through.
Okay. Are people coming back on
They
board?
They are.
What's going on,
the
mate?
Technology. And I guess what happened really when you look at it, and it's easy in hindsight, but the old boards that you were talking about before, your dad taught you, the big old boards.
Oh, yeah, we were talking off mic down at Bridie Passage. Yeah,
they were heavy and they're horrible, but they were easy to teach your kids on. And the technology sort of went smaller and smaller and lighter, high performance. And the poor younger generation got ignored for many years. So there's been a bit of a gap. But nowadays, they've brought the boards wider. They're still very quick and efficient, but you can ride them. You can teach someone in half an hour how to windsurf now because they're so stable.
Wow.
And the sail technology is also a lot more forgiving. I've actually got a blow-up sail for my daughter.
Okay.
And so there's no weight in it. You can just lift it out of the water. It's very light. And it's, up to 10 knots, it's fine. And it only has maybe a 2 or 3 year lifetime, and then you've got to step into a hard sail. But it teaches them all the technique, and there's no dropping sails on yourself and having to pull all the water out of it and all that sort of business. That makes it a lot easier.
Windsurfing. I mean, is Southeast Queensland a good place to go
Fantastic
for a windsurf?
place.
Where do you go? What's good?
Anywhere there's water. Basically, there's places that people congregate, like Wellington Point and up and down the coast. It depends what you're into, really. There's all sorts of disciplines in windsurfing. So some people like wave sailing. Some people like to do flat water sailing. Some people like speed sailing. It's a big thing these days. Some people like to race each other. Some people just like to go in the bay and just have fun and let loose, go back and forth and jump and do bits and pieces. Some people like freestyle. There's so many disciplines, about 11 or so. Yeah.
Wow, wipeout. Or not, definitely. Scott Farley with you, president of Windsurfing Queensland. You're on ABC Radio Brisbane and Gold Coast. I've seen a lot of people enjoying the wind, embracing the wind on the water in a way that isn't just windsurfing. Have we seen a bit of an uptake in participants in wind sports? I mean, kite surfing, for instance, seems to be a big deal.
There's so many ways you can get enjoy the water. I mean, I don't care what you do. Getting out of the water is just such a, with your boating or yachting or windsurfing, kite surfing, it's just, I don't know, it just grounds you. People, I always look at windsurfing, and I don't know, I've done lots of different things, and I don't know, there's sort of a real soulistic thing about it. You get out there and you could have the worst week ever. You get out there and have a sail and everything just disappears. You got a week with a buzz after that. You come back in and it's euphoric, and it's good for your body and your mind and your soul. Yeah,
do you need a trailer and everything to get a board out to the beach?
It depends how set up. I mean, I'm a little bit into all the different bits and pieces. So
you'd have
you
the
ask
full
my
kit.
wife, special
if I'm a
separate
beginner.
credit card for that.
It's essential purchases, darling. For the beginner who's listening to you and thinking, I might like to give this a go, what do you need?
Look, there's soft entries. We've just started the Centre of Excellence down at Royal Queensland. It's a collaboration between Royal Queensland Yacht Club and or Yacht Squadron and the Australian Sailing Association. And basically what that does, it allows you to go down there, pay a fee for, a certain amount of learning to windsurf time, and they've got all the gear. So you can go in there and try it out before you have to go and buy your gear. But to get started, I could set my daughter up with it. The blow-up sails are a little bit more expensive than a second-hand version of the same in a hard sail. But that was under $2,000 to set it all up, and she'll ride that for 2 or 3 years, and then my son will ride it after that. So it's very, very reasonable to get into, and it's free once you've got the gear.
And by the way, is it sailboarding or windsurfing?
Well, the original person who invented sailboarding called it a sailboard when he built it. So it sort of was sailboarding for a while. It's sort of evolved. You can call it either.
I'm not going to be shunned
these
if
days.
I turn up.
No, not at all. We're called Windsurfing Queensland. It doesn't really matter what you call it. Sometimes people who do a lot of wave sailing, they call it windsurfing because they're surfing the waves. And other people who are doing flat water stuff or race boards, they might call it sailboarding, but you can call it what you want.
Scot Farley with you, Windsurfing Queensland. When is the good time to go windsurfing? I mean, I feel like the westerlies coming through August would suggest a nice opportunity to hit the water.
Look, I mean, I used to sail asked my wife, I was just obsessed with it. I'd sail whenever it blew. You know, I left my mum's 70th birthday party because it was windy. And I feel terrible from today. I still feel terrible.
Bringing families together since 1982.
On the other hand, there's lots of windsurfing families down there, all together having fun. So
that's gorgeous.
Families that play together stay together.
Indeed. Oh, well, it does sound like an absolute hoot, Scot.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for sailing on by to tell us about windsurfing this afternoon. You can't leave without giving me a cool windsurfing expression. I mean, I feel like the surfers have a bit of a hold on the groovy language. Tubular, gnarly.
I don't know. We always say it's honking.
It's honking.
It's really blowing. It's honking at Wello. You've got to get out there. So, yeah, cool. But if you're interested in learning, just go to we've just changed the website so it's more inclined to learn a windsurf. If I've got a second.
Please.
It's just windsurfing. www.windsurfingqueensland.com, and there's plenty of information there.
Do that one more time.
www.windsurfingqld.com.
There you go. Scot Farley of Windsurfing Queensland, El Presidente. I hope it's honking at Wello sometime in the near future.
Thank you, Kat, for the opportunity to talk about our great sport.
Thanks, mate. You are on ABC Radio Brisbane and Gold Coast.
You're listening to Catherine Feeney on ABC Radio Brisbane and Queensland.